Welcome back, everyone, to another episode. It's your host here, Annalena, and today's going to be a little bit of a different episode. We're not going to talk about human design or the gene keys. I felt inspired to share something completely different with you, which has kind of happened in response to a lot of my client interactions recently. This is about the systems that I use in my business because, when you're an online entrepreneur, yeah, you need a computer, obviously. And there are some tech tools that are actually going to be very, very helpful to make your life so much easier. And I have shared over and over again when my clients obviously ask me about it, and they always tell me like how helpful this was, and it kind of saved them so much time and sometimes also a lot of money and resources that I thought, hey, why not share it with all of you guys? Because maybe you are also currently thinking about what are some good systems to use? And I know there's a lot out there where sometimes we can get quite overwhelmed. So let's get right into it. So the first one that I think is super important for anyone that is really serious about building your own business is to have an email list. And this is because you may think, oh, I have to do social media. And I also think that social media is absolutely fantastic. And I encourage you to go on whichever social media platform you will feel most drawn to, basically. For me, it's mainly Instagram. And the thing is, though, that social media can disappear overnight. We have happened this in the past already, where, one day nothing was working there. And the other thing is, like, you can have a million followers on one of these social media accounts, but they're not yours, right? Yeah, they follow you and it may feel amazing to our ego, but you don't have their email list. So if you really want to reach out to them, it's quite difficult. I mean, we also have tools these days like ManyChat. That would be a whole other conversation, how you can engage with your followers through automations. That is totally possible today. But again, you're not going to have automatically all these emails unless you make some efforts. And this is why I truly believe building your own email list where you also can send out a weekly or maybe a bi-weekly, or maybe you want to start on a monthly basis, like a newsletter, where you can check in with your people on a consistent basis. Because I do believe that it takes some time and consistency to really, so people can get to know you, what you stand for, and also build trust that you're not just here once for a short period of time and then never show up again. So for email, I started using Flowdesk a really long time ago, and I'm actually going to share my screen now. So for those of you that are actually watching the video, you're also going to get to see what it looks like. But for everybody that's just listening, I will share all the links in the show notes so that you can check out these systems. And so here we go. We have Flowdesk. What I love about Flowdesk is that they have unlimited email plans. So no matter how much you grow, you will always stay at the same price. And this is only if you're listening to this before November 28th of 2025. And this is actually why I also felt inspired. Hey, let me share about this because this is such an incredible offer. And I joined them many, many years ago. I think it was over 3 or almost 4 years ago, I think, that I started to join Flowdesk. And they had this unlimited plan, which I really like because many of the other softwares you will see that, yeah, you pay a certain amount, but once your email list grows to 1,000 and then 2,000 and 5,000, they increase the price with that. Now, even if you listen or watch to this later, I'm going to still recommend Flowdesk because I just also love the way that it looks. It's so aesthetically pleasing. I just love to go into the system. I love to create emails. It's super pretty. And guess what? You don't have to be a graphic designer at all. They actually have incredible templates that you can very, very easily customize with your own colors and your logo and all that good stuff. So right now, they still, until November 28th of 2025, they have this incredible offer where you can sign up for their unlimited plan, which means even if you grow to 100,000 subscribers, right? You're going to see this here. It's going to stay the same price. It's not going to change. And the only email plan I believe is $35 a month. I personally have the everything plan where I also can create checkouts. So if you don't even have a website, right, and you just have a social media, you can start using this because you can start to build a very simple page to collect emails. You can offer small offers where you have a PDF download and you sell it. You can even create memberships and then just have the membership on Telegram, for example. So with this Flowdesk subscription, you can do so much. And again, even if you don't have a website, because I know sometimes people think, oh, I have to have this fancy website. Like, no, you don't. Yes, you can also have a website, of course. I encourage it. But if that's holding you back from launching your business, I really recommend Flowdesk. And you're more than welcome to reach out to me personally on my Instagram or via email if you have questions about it. I'm happy to assist you because I just want to make sure that you make the right decision for you, right? I do have affiliate links, yes, but I'm not gonna make a huge profit like, from sharing this. I'm really sharing this because I have seen how much it benefits my clients and they have thanked me for this. And here with Flowdesk, you actually do, if you use my affiliate link, you actually get 50% off the first year of your subscription. So instead of paying 59 or 64 monthly, I think you're only going to pay 32 for the very first year. So you can try this out for just 32 bucks a month. So they have an incredible system. I also love that they seem to be super caring about their customers. They have always been honoring what they promised in the beginning. I really appreciate this about companies. And sometimes there are other companies, you sign up for something and then they change the rules all the time and it's nothing what it was in the beginning. So they seem to be very grateful for early adopters like me, and then they really pass on the benefits. And they really gave plenty of notice about this change. I think they already announced it over a month ago. That's why I started to also share with some of my clients. And now it's still, I think, about 2 weeks almost where you can take advantage of this amazing offer. So this is honestly like my number one recommendation because, again, building your email list, I think in today's age is so, so important. And people still read emails, seriously. And they have also an amazing delivery rate and all these things. So this is my first one. Then the next one, if you want to offer courses, right? So pre-recorded course content. Now, the very, very easy way, if you don't want to invest into anything, what you can do, you can just use YouTube and you can upload your video recordings onto YouTube as an unlisted video so that you just share the link with the people that signed up for your course. And then maybe you have a PDF and you create some hyperlinks and that's how you do it. So you could even sell that course with Flowdesk, make a landing page, have a checkout, they pay, and then you run your course with Zoom and you just upload it onto YouTube. So that would be a completely free option. But if you want to go a little bit more fancy and you want to have your own course platform, right, where you have several courses and that's a specific login, so people always go to the same place and it looks a little bit more professional. And you can also create your own website. So for those of you that need something very simple and easy, and you get very easily overwhelmed by all the tech stuff, my first would be Podia, which I have been using personally for, I think, over 4 years now. I'm right now in the process of leaving Podia. However, I did use it for many, many years, and it was a lifesaver because when I had Podia, honestly, for the first time, I felt that I really have a business. And I'm just going to show you quickly. So this is my course page where you can access my courses. Again, it's not going to be available much longer, but you can actually create a website here. Very simple, and you have a drop-down menu where you can have different pages on there. So not only can you host your courses on here, you can also use it as your website, okay? And Podia, I think, is also quite affordable when it comes to getting started. So literally, I'm going to go to the monthly. So they have one plan is called the Mover plan, which is only $39 a month. However, they do charge you a 5% transaction fee. So if you're just getting started, I would just do that. And then you're going to see how much you're going to sell. And then if you meet the threshold where the 5% you pay in transaction fees actually covers the additional, I think it's $50 extra for the next plan is called the Shaker plan, which is currently, as I'm recording this, 89. And here you also have affiliate marketing included, and here they have no transaction fees. That's basically the difference, right? So now, as you can see, Podia email, they also have email, but email here separately. And this is something, just so you guys know, when I started using Podia over 4 years ago, email was actually included without an additional fee, but that was one of the things that changed. And that was also where I was like, I don't like it. But again, I signed up for Flowdesk, and a really nice feature between Podia and Flowdesk is that you can sync them. So without having another tool like Zapier, for example. So there is something within Podia where you just basically toggle a button and then you can connect your Podia account to your Flowdesk. So when people sign up on your Podia website for, let's say you host a masterclass, if it's free or paid, then people sign up and automatically in your Flowdesk account, you're going to save all the emails there for the people that signed up for a particular masterclass. So it helps you be quite organized. Now, of course, you could also say, hey, I want to keep it super simple. I just want to, if you feel like Podia is maybe your platform to go to, then you may decide, okay, I'm just going to use their email system as well. But here, keep in mind that as your email list grows, you will have to pay more based on the size of your email list. And what I do have to say, I really, really love about Podia, it's a very simplistic design, very clean, very appealing to the eye, I find. And also, it's probably the quickest when it comes to creating a course or setting up a really quick landing page for a course offer. It's really like plug and play. They also have lots of tutorials on how to do all these kind of things. And it's also very easy, I think, to use for, when you have clients. At least my clients have always told me that it's quite a nice experience. So you don't have a lot of distractions there. Now, one of the downsides, if that is important to you, they currently, as I'm again doing this recording, they don't have an app. So you can only access this on a computer or if you open up a browser on your smartphone. But it's not like like an app where you can access the courses and all of it. And also, they do have a community feature as well. So if you want to run your own community, but I used it for many years and I didn't like it. That's why eventually I switched actually over to Telegram because I didn't find it very engaging for my clients. So again, Podia is really, really good if you want to have your first course platform and you want to have it very, very simple and easy how you can create a course and also upload videos and stuff. It's literally the easiest of all that I have seen out there. Okay, so this is Podia. Now, for those of you that are looking for a little bit more fancy and maybe you're also a little bit more advanced, also with the tech stuff, I do recommend Ivory. That's the platform I am just joined about a month ago, and I almost finished transferring my products and services over there, and I'm very, very happy with them. They are based in Australia. It's also a completely woman-led company, and I have to say, when I watched the free demo that I'm showing here on the screen right now, you can sign up for it, and I was like, oh my gosh, they totally understand what it means to have an online business and all the kind of like headaches that can come with that. And one of the things that I was looking for years while I had Podia, and I was okay with that, especially with having Flowdesk next to it, there was always something missing for me. One of the things for me was that I wanted my clients to have an app, right? Where they can go to the app, they can access my courses and my communities and not have to go to something else like Telegram, for example. That was important for me. And then also, that I could create my nice website on it because for my website, I used to use something separate because my Podia website that I just used for my courses and I had my whole website on another platform and I paid extra on another login, right? So there was just too many things. So my dream was I want to have the website in one platform. I want to have my courses and I want to have an app for my clients. I also want to have really cool communities all in the same login for my clients. And I also really want to have an affiliate program. So when you as my client love something like a course and you want to share it, then you get paid an affiliate commission, right? So I always looked at different systems over the years, and either I really didn't like the pricing or I found the platform very difficult to use. So, anyways, I now joined, and I also think the pricing is amazing. As I'm speaking, I think it's 99 US dollar per month or 149 Australian US dollar, depending where you live. And also, they're going to have another Black Friday sale. And I think for all of these softwares, probably Podia is going to have, usually they have a Black Friday sale. It's another reason why I thought I think it's a great time to record this, because if you're in the process of changing a system or finally signing up for something because you get really serious about your business, it's a good time now. But also don't feel like fear of missing out. I think that's never a good way to make decisions from. Always feel it in your body. You can reach out to me. You're more than welcome to ask me, and I give you my honest feedback and advice if I think that software platform is the right one for you, because it can really make your life so much easier. Now, with Ivory, it's a little bit more advanced, I have to be honest, but I like doing these kind of things. You can also, for example, I no longer need Calendly with Ivory. Calendly is something to, book sessions with clients, like human design readings in my case. And that also now I no longer use for Calendly, and I have everything in Ivory. I had to set it up, but they also have a lot of templates, so they actually make it easy. And they have the most incredible onboarding course. So they literally walk you through everything. They have incredible customer support. So any questions you have, they get back to you. So I had a couple of little hiccups here and there, but they always got back to me and we got everything resolved really quick. They also have an AI support tool called Ivy, and that also is very, very helpful. It just always tells me like where everything is. And yes, it takes a little bit more time to get to know the system, but I'm just over, I think, a month and a half in, not even, and I feel like I know it really, really well. But again, I also have to say that I enjoy doing these kind of things. I like to build stuff. And especially because, again, also Ivory is very aesthetically pleasing. And Ivory now has allowed me to also host my website on there. And the cool thing is not just one website. So this is my main website right now, annalenafuchs.com. I also actually have the capability to have several websites on there. So for example, for the True Sidereal Summit that I'm hosting in December, I created another website for that. So right now, this is unlimited. I don't know that they will always have this, because Ivory is also a fairly new company from what I understand. But I can tell you that just like Flowdesk, I took a decision that felt right in my body. And that's exactly what I did with Ivory. I didn't rush into anything. I was really like, is this really aligned for me? And it felt like a full body yes. It was a lot of work. Yes, I had to let my clients know about the process. Maybe you're listening right now and you're like, yeah, I got your emails and you have already logged into my new platform. And so far, I have received really, really nice feedback, because on this new platform, you can access your courses and you can also access my communities, which there's more to come, right? And these communities, if you are familiar with School, for example, Skool, that's a whole other platform just for communities, which I personally really like, also as a client and user. So I'm part of a School community, for example. And the communities in Ivory, they have a very, very similar layout. It almost looks exactly the same. And you can customize everything as well, right? And I can also have as many communities as I like. So, give you an example. I have a human design certification that I run currently twice a year. And there is a private community space now for the people that are part of the certification. And then for the True Sidereal Summit, I will have another free community for everybody that will sign up for that. So we can all come together and share our insights and ask questions and connect with others. And I'm also in the process of launching another paid community, like a monthly membership. And this is amazing because School, to just give you an idea, for the full-blown plan, they charge $99 just for one community. If you want to have two communities, you have to pay that twice. Now, I have to say they just recently launched a entry-level community plan for just $9 a month, but I think then you have ads and certain things are not enabled, right? So it has some kind of a limited capacity, but it's great that they did that as well. But then again, if I would have used school, because I was about to sign up for this before I found Ivory, I then have to connect it to my email provider, and then all these different systems have to talk to each other. And that was almost giving me like so much overwhelm that it made me like, I don't even want to do this, right? So with Ivory, I have all of this in one system. Again, it's not super easy. You have to create workflows and make sure everything communicates with each other, but they explain everything. You have to ask a lot of questions. And if you happen to have a little bit of an extra budget, they also offer paid services. So for Ivory, right? Where, let's say you have a program that you already ran and you had a landing page on your old website and now you want to have it over at Ivory, you could just pay a package. And I don't know the exact pricing. I think actually you can find this on their website under services. So yeah, they can even build your website, they can create a landing page, a sales funnel, and all these things, right? Now, I did it all myself, so that's obviously totally up to you, but I just want to let you know there is the option if this is something that's an absolute no-no for you and you just want to pay them and have it done. I think then that's a really fabulous option to have, right? The other thing that is freaking amazing with Ivory is that, as you can see here on my screen, they have all these super pretty aesthetic templates. And I used that actually for my website, which was super helpful. It was totally my vibe. And yeah, that is for emails and also for landing pages, for your website and all of this, right? So it's incredible. I can just tell you that in the past, when I was using another provider for my website, which was called Show It, which I also think is amazing, but I paid literally $500 or $600 just for my website template. And here it's like all included. So it's a really, really good deal if you ask me from what I've seen in the industry. Also, if you have checked out Kajabi, for example, I think Kajabi is cool. It's nice. It also has an app, but pricing wise, I think it absolutely cannot compete. And then also, I think Ivory is much, much easier to use than Kajabi. And it has so many different functionalities. Like you can even use it if you have a hair salon, for example, and you have different people that are booking appointments. It can be for multiple, it can be for a team and for different kind of scheduling. You can build your online store. There are a lot of things that I haven't even touched upon, right? I just started to focus on moving my courses over, setting up my website, which still needs to be updated more, and creating my new communities and putting up my new calendar system so people can actually book readings and sessions with me. And I'm very, 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 very pleased. You can also, put your own branding, your colors, your logos in there and all this stuff. So now that I'm talking about branding, colors, and logos, this is another thing that I think, at least at some point, is going to be really important, especially if you are a little bit like me in the terms of like, you like things to be pretty. I can tell you that I typically don't buy from businesses when, I don't know, there's just aesthetically completely bland and I don't know, if it's empty, it's just like text on a white page. And I'm like, yeah, probably not. I love when things are really pretty, right? And you know this yourself. Like, what businesses are you buying from? I always see myself as my best customer. And for me, it's about aesthetics. So this is also, now we're going to talk a little bit about human design. So the two line in human design, and then astrology would be a lot of Taurus energy, for example, has a lot to do with aesthetics and images and visuals, right? So how things look like. So for that, one, I highly recommend if you want to have a really nice font. And again, this is not a must. You can also use free fonts. There's a lot of free Google fonts out there. But if you're like, no, I want to have a really cool, sexy, nice, elegant looking font that almost looks like in a newspaper. No, like in a, not in a newspaper, but like a magazine kind of, or where you see like, like brands use their fonts. I recommend Jen Wagner. She's incredible. I personally have purchased her fonts as well. And she also right now for Black Friday has 30% off. And I think yeah, it's for 2 more weeks. I think it's until December 1st or something like that. Again, there's no rush with anything. I think she runs the sale once a year, but that's the biggest sale I have seen her run every year. And again, you can ask me questions. Several of my clients have purchased their fonts and they're incredibly happy because you can use them depending on what license you buy. She also has explanations which license you need for your social media content and everything you create, and then also for your website. Okay. So again, it's not a must, but if that's something that really speaks to you, she's my go-to. She's incredible. That's all she does. She's awesome. And then of course, so Canva, I think I have to check when I first signed up. I want to say it's almost like 7 or 8 years, maybe 10. Canva is your graphic design to go. I think it beats everything. When I was younger, I used to use like Photoshop and Corel Draw. Back in the day, some Adobe products, but Canva is this online platform, super affordable for a monthly fee, where I create all of my graphics with. I created my logo with it. I create all of my Instagram posts with it, all my logos or covers for my programs that I run. Because for me, when I create a new program, I actually have to have the visual presentation first before I kind of can feel into the energy and do the copywriting. That's obviously my unique process, but yeah, Canva, I don't know what I would do without it, to be honest. And they keep getting better and better and better. They constantly make improvements. And they too, they have been honoring my initial pricing that I signed up years ago. And that's something I really, really appreciate with companies because their pricing has gone up since I signed up. It's still super affordable. I can check here what the pricing is currently. So monthly, yeah, it's $15 per month. You can create presentations with it. You can even create websites now with it. It also can be integrated with Flowdesk as well, I believe. You can, I think, directly post to Instagram if I'm not mistaken. They have AI integration these days as well. So yeah, Canva is absolutely amazing. Anyways, so I just wanted to give you those high level overviews of these super awesome systems that I've been working with over the years. Again, I highly recommend them. Again, only make one of these decisions if it's really aligned. If you kind of feel like you want to try it out first, I think most of them have a free trial. Ivory does not, but I think Podia should have a free trial. I think also Flowdesk has a free trial. And just check it out. And you can also start with just monthly, right? To kind of see how you like it. It's definitely worth it to do that because for me, it's always like I really have to feel the energy when I'm in the system, and if that feels good, then I'm like, yeah, okay, this feels right. But if I feel contraction in my body when I get into a system, and of course, sometimes we have to just learn a little bit first, so it may then get better. But if it consistently stays kind of like a yucky energy and you don't want to be there, then maybe it's not that you don't want to send out emails. Maybe it's just not the right system for you. That's really what happened for me with Flowdesk. Like I always heard like, yeah, you need to send out email newsletter, you need to grow your list. And I looked at all these different platforms. I mean, there's, I think like a gazillion out there, like how, to build an email list. And it just felt uninspiring. And literally the moment I signed up for Flowdesk, I started to send out my weekly newsletter. Now it's bi-weekly. And I never looked back. I always continued doing it. And it was best decision ever. So that's how I do it. And I hope that this was really helpful for all of you. And I wish honestly that somebody would have recorded this for me years ago. But the truth is, like, these softwares didn't exist to this level when I started over 7, 8 years ago with my business. And I'm just so grateful that there are amazing humans out there that have made it their mission to keep improving this. And, I really think there's a fit for everyone. And my intention really here was for me to take out a little bit of the overwhelm and give you some of my very honest opinion on it. So, with that, have fun exploring, see what fits for you. And yeah, right now is a good time to take advantage of some of these amazing Black Friday deals. Again, no FOMO, but it's a really, really good time to get things started. And I think there's just a lot of momentum happening right now. Like next year in numerology, we have a 1 year, which is all about this new, fresh energy and getting things started. So may this serve you. And with that, have a beautiful rest of your day. Sending you much blessings. And I'll be back with you on the next episode. Ciao, everyone.